Hello and welcome to the MIT Shakespeare Ensemble's production of As You Like It. The show is expected to run for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Please be advised that the show will contain mentions of suicidal ideation, discussions of gender identity and misgendering, and depictions of non-glory violence, including familial violence and scenes with knife brandishing. You are requested to take a moment to silence your cell phones, beepers, and other electronic devices. No photography or video recording is permitted for the duration of the performance. Also take a moment to note the emergency exits on either side of the stage and behind you where you entered. In the event of an emergency, proceed to the nearest exit in a calm, orderly fashion. Thank you and enjoy the show.
As I remember, Adam was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will but poor 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charge my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jacques, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. On my part, he keeps me rustically at home. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as he wise, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me. And he, the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against his servitude. I will no longer endure it. Though yet, I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes that Oliver, your brother.
Now, sir, what make you here? Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
Well, what are you then, sir?
Marry, sir. I'm helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Know you where you are, sir?
Very well, sir. Here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I, better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother. The courtesy of nations allows you my better that you are the firstborn, but I have as much of my father in me as you. What boy? Come, come. Elder brother, you are too young in this.
Well, now lay hands on me, villain.
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boyce. Were thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till this other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at the court.
Let me go. I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father left you in his will to give me a good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercise as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that I'll go buy my fortunes.
And what thou do beg what thou hast spent? Well, sir, get you in. I shall not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. Pray you, leave me. Get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service.
And as even so, begin you to grow upon me. Visit your rankness and give no 1,000 crowns neither.
Good morrow to your worship.
Tomorrow, Charles, what's the new news at the new court?
Oh, there's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke banished by his younger brother, the new duke, and with him 2 or 3 men who voluntarily exiled themselves with him. But their lands and revenues enrichen the new duke, and therefore he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no, sir, for the duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her that she would have gone into exile with her. She's at the court.
And where will the old duke live?
I'm told he's in the forest of Arden among many other merry men.
Will you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
I'm merry, sir, but I came to acquaint you with a matter. I have told secretly that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try to fall.
Oh.
Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that shall leave me without some broken limb shall be acquitted well. For your love, I am loath to foil him. Your brother is but young and tender, he stands no chance. I will fight for your honor and mine.
Charles, I thank thee for the love for me. I have myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and by underhand means labor to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles is the stubbornest young man in France, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good part, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. I hastily thou didst break his neck as his finger. I assure thee, Charles, and almost with tears I speak it, there's not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I'm heartily glad I came to you hither. If he come tomorrow, I shall keep my promise and make his punishment. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. For my soul, I know not why, hates nothing more than him. But he is gentle, never schooled, and yet learned, full of noble devices, and of all sorts enchantingly beloved. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, unless you can teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me to remember any extraordinary pleasures.
You know my father hath no child but me, nor none is like to have, and truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth will I, coz, and devise sport. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest.
What shall be our sport, then?
How now, wit? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor. But I was bid come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight that swore by his honor they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor the mustard was not. Now I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good. And yet was not this knight forsworn.
How prove you this in the great heap of your knowledge?
Hi, Mary, now unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now. Stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any. Or if he had, he'd sworn it away before ever he saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Butcher, Mr. LeBeau, what's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
What color, madam? How should I answer you?
As wit and fortune will, or as the destinies decree.
Well said.
Nay, if I keep not my rank.
Thou losest thine old smell. You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost sight of. There comes an old man and his 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
The eldest of which wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles, in a moment, threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, that there is little hope of life in him. So he served the second, and so the third. Alas!
But what is this sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why this that I speak of?
Thus men may grow wiser every day. It is the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies. Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
Not yet sure. They're coming.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestler?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is a general challenger. I come but in as augurs you to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young man, your spirits are far too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. I pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your safety and give over this attempt.
I
not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, player. Fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein, if I be killed, but one that was willing to be so, only in the world do I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength I have, I would it were with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Come, where is this young gallant who so desires to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir.
You shall try but one fall.
Now, Hercules, be thy speed, young man. Ah. Yes, I do beseech your grace, I am not yet well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
Speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed had thou descended from another house.
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's than his youngest son, and will not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loves Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world is of my father's mind.
Sir, you have well deserved, if you do keep your promises in love, but justly as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy?
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means.
Shall we go, Cuz?
Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say, I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a Quinton, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go?
Have with you! Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown.
Friendship counts you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved high commendation. Yet, such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you. And I pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners.
Yet, the taller is indeed his daughter. The other, daughter of the banished Duke. But I can tell you, as of late the Duke has taken great displeasure against his gentle niece. And, on my life, his malice against the lady will suddenly break fall. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter, in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bolden to you. Fare you well. And thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from a tyrant duke unto a tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind.
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw at a dog.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father. How full of briars is this working day world?
I fetch?
They take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Is it possible, on such a sudden, that you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase, I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly. And yet, I hate not Orlando.
And no, faith, hate him not for my sake. Here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your distrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me wherein the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake. Else had she with her father ranged along.
If she be a traitor, why so am I. Still we have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, eat, played together, and wheresoever we went, like Juno's swan, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. And her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you want to stay the time, upon mine honor, and to the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? I prithee, be cheerful. Knowest thou not that the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Then Rosalind lacks the love that teacheth thee that thou and I are one. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. Say what thou canst, I will go along with you.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far?
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, the like should you, and so shall we pass along and never stir assail us.
Were it not better, because that I am more than common strong, that I did suit me in all points like a man?
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse name than Jove's own page, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. What will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state, no longer Celia, but Aliena.
Oh, but cousin, what if we essay to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travels?
He'll go along the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him, and let's away, to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my commates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious cold? Here feel we but the penalties of Adam, the season's difference, and the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which, even as it bites and blows against my body, even as I shriek with cold. I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, though ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in its head. And this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
I would not change it. Happy is your greatest that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go hunt us venison? Though it irks me that the poor dappled fools, despite being native burghers of this desert city, should, in their own confines, have their round haunches gored.
The melancholy Jake Queensbury said that. And in that time, sir, that you do more usurp than does your brother that has banished you. Today, my lords and I, as we walked, the steel behind him as he lay alone, to the which place a poor sequestered staff from the hunter's aim had taken a hurt. And thus, the hairy fool, much marked with the melancholy Jake stood at the extremest edge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jaques? Did he not try and moralize this spectacle?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting over the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he is truly full of matter.
I'll bring it to him straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them?
I cannot hear if anyone did see her. The ladies, her tenants of her chamber, saw her bed, and in the morning early they found the bed untreasured of the mistress.
It cannot be.
My lord, the British crown is also missing. Your daughter and her cousin much commend the cots and graces of the rest of the thin but lately quelled their cinnamon Charles. And I believe wherever they've gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch thy gowns hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him.
Who's there?
What, my young sir? Why, what make you here?
Why, what's the matter?
Come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What? Wouldst thou have me go and beg my food, a thievish living on the common road? I rather will subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father. Be comforted to my age. Here is the gold, and all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty.
Good old man. Thou prunest a rotten tree that cannot so much as blossom. You to move all thy pains in husbandry. But come thy ways, we'll go along together. And ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
My friend, go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty.
scorn you still.
Oh, Corn, that thou knewst how I do love her.
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
And I mine.
Oh, thou hast ne'er loved so heartily.
I pray you, one of you, question yon friend, and see if they for gold will give us any food.
If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever love made thee run into, thou hast not loved.
I remember. When I was in love, I broke my sword upon a stone and bid him take that for coming a night to Jane's smile.
Or if thou hast not sat as I do now, wearying thy hearer and thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved.
Oh, and I remember the kissing of her batlet and the cow's dung that her pretty cracked hands had built.
If thou hast not broke from company abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved.
We that are true lovers run into strange favors.
Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe.
But as all is mortal in nature, all nature in love is mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art aware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er beware of mine own wit till I break my shins against it.
I faint. Almost to death.
Holla, you clown!
Peace, fool, they're not thy kinsmen.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Else they be very wretched.
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
Good even to you, and to you all.
I pray you, if that love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us to where we may rest ourselves and feed. For here's a young maid with travel much oppressed, and faints for supper.
Fair, sir, I pity her, and I wish, from my own fortunes more than hers, that I could be able to relieve her sufferings. But I am shepherd to another man, of churlish disposition, and do not shear the flocks that I graze. My keeper finds little in doing rights to pave the way toward his heavenly delivery. Besides, his coat, his flocks, and bounds of feed are on sale, and there is nothing that you will feed on.
I prithee, shepherd, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage pasture and the flock, and thou shalt have the pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place and could willingly waste my time in it.
Assuredly, the thing is to be sold. Go with me, and if you will like upon report the soil, the profit, this kind of life, I will your faithful feeder be, and take your gold right suddenly.
More. More, I prithee more.
It'll make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I think it. More, I prithee more. I can suck the melancholy out of a song as the weasel sucks eggs. More.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing first to this note that I made yesterday, in spite of my invention.
And now sing it.
Thus it goes. If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please, Duke Dame, here shall he see gross fools as he, and if you will come to me.
What's that, Duke Dame?
Ah, 'tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle. Ha! I'll go to sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Orlando, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here, I lie me down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind keeper.
Why, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee? For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at the arm's end. I will be with thee presently, and if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. If thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labor. Thou shalt not die out of a lack of a dinner. Dare live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam.
I think he be transformed into a beast, because nowhere I can find him like a man.
My lord, he was but even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a song.
If he, compacted jars, grow musical, then we shall shortly have discord in the spheres. Why, how now, monsieur? Thou seemest joyful.
A fool! I am a fool of the forest, a motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I'm a fool. Who laid him down and bashed him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. In good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, "It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see," quoth he, "how the world lands. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after an hour more, it will be 11. And so from hour to hour we write, and write. And then from hour to hour we rot, and rot. And thereby hangs a tale. When I heard the motley fool this moral on time, my lungs began to curl like a chanticleer, and I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his die. Oh, motley fool, a noble fool.
What fool is this?
One that has been a courtier? Oh, that I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you read your better judgments of all opinion that grows rank in them, that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please. So who fools have? And they that are most together with my folly, they most much laugh. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee, I know what that would do.
What? For a counter, I will do what's good.
Most mischievous, foul sin, in chiding, sin, and all the embossed sores and headed evils that thou would, of license of free foot, disgorge onto the general world.
Forbearity no more!
What? I haven't done yet.
Nor shall not to necessity be served.
Are you thus boldened, man, by your distress, or simply a rude despiser of good manners? Because civility thou seemest so empty.
You touched my vein at first, the So any point of bare distress has taken from me the show of smooth civility. But forbear, I say, he dies if such as any of this fruit to lie when my affairs are answered.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more from us than force move us to gentleness.
I almost died for food. Let me have.
Then sit down and feed and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently. Pardon me, I pray you. There is a poor old man who hath many years have lived after me in pure love. Till he be first sufficed, I will not touch a bit.
Go and find him out, and nothing we shall waste until you return.
I thank ye.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater is home to more woeful pageants than the one wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being several pages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with satchel and shiny morning face creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the double reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly and good tapered nine, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippery pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrank, and his big, manly voice turning in towards Towers Temple, who pipes and his scowl. The last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burthen and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So had, if you need, I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
If you are truly the son of good Sir Roland, as you whispered faithfully that you were, be truly welcome hither. I am the duke that loved your father so. Good old man, thou art right as welcome as Orlando is, and let me all your fortunes understand. Give us some music, and good cousin, sing.
His merry note onto the sweet bird
not seen him since. Sir, that cannot be. Were I not the better part made mercy, I should not seek an absent argument of my revenge thou present. But look to it. Find out thy brother, wheresoe'er he is, bring him dead, or living, within this 12 month, or seek thou no more to turn a living in our territory.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
Or go. Well, push him out of doors. Do this expediently and turn him going.
Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love, and thou, thrice crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress name, that my full life thus sway. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character deck. Every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
How like you this shepherd's life, master?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. But in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect it is in the fields, it pleases me well. But in respect it is not in the court, it is tedious. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
Not more than that I know the property of rain is to wet.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever at court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Damned for not being at court? Your reason?
If thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a perilous state, shepherd.
Not only touchstone. Those that are good manners in the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior in the country is most mockable at the court. You told me that you salute not at court, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Why, do not your courtier's hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, shallow. A better instance, I say. Come.
Besides, our hands are hard tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. And would you have us kiss tar? Your perfumer's hands are stained with civet.
Most shallow. Learn of the wise and perpend. Civet is of a baser birth than tar, the most uncleanly flux of a cat. Mend the instance, shepherd.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear, owe no man hate, envy no one's happiness, glad of other man's good, content with my harm, and the greatest of my pride is see my lambs graze and my ewes suck.
That is another simple sin in you, to bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherds.
Oh, look who here, Pastor Ganymede.
From the east to the western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind through all the world bears Rosalind. For a taste. If a heart do like a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. Does not cut sourest
This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool. I found them on a tree.
The tree yields bad fruit.
Peace, I say.
Here comes my sister, reading.
Why should this a desert be? For is it unpeopled? No. Tongues will hang on every tree, and thus shall civil sayings show.
Come, shepherd, let's make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses? Trow you who have done this.
Is it a man?
And the chain that you once wore about his neck, change your color.
I prithee tell me who.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and after that, wonderful, and after all that, out of all of them.
Goods, my complexion. Dost thou think, though I am caparisoned like a man, that I have a doublet and hose in my disposition? I prithee, tell me who is it quickly, and speak apace.
It is young Orlando, who tripped up both the wrestler's heels and your heart in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow and true maid.
In vain, cuz, 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas the day! What will I do with my doublet and hose? But what did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Where went he? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? And when shall thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must let me gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size.
But does he know that I'm in this forest and in man's attire? Oh, looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
It is as easy to count atomies as it is to resolve the propositions of a lover. But yet, take a taste of my finding him, and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
It may well be called Job's tree when it drops forth such fruits. Proceed.
He was stretched along like a wounded knight.
It would be pity to see such a sight. It well becomes the ground.
Cry holla to thy tongue, it curveth unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart!
I would sing my song without a burden. Thou bringest me out of tune. Soft. Comes he not here?
'Tis he! Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I'd as lief been myself alone.
And so had I, but yet for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
Nay, better strangers.
I pray you, mark no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, more no more my verses with reading them though favorably.
Rosalind's your lover's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
All you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
I was seeking for a fool when I found you here.
Oh, he is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There shall I see mine own figure. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy. I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him. Is thou here, Forester? Very well. What would you? I pray you, what is it o'clock? You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest. Then If I could be that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaken. I pray you, tell me a remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks on you. He taught me how to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am sure you are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A sad eye and sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard, neglected, which you have not. And everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements of loving yourself than seeming the lover to any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it. You may as soon make her you love believe it. Which I warrant she is apter to do than to confess she does. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I pray thee by the soft hand of Rosalind. I am he, that unfortunate he.
Oh, but are you so in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you deserves as much dark house and a whip as madmen do. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to picture me, his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve the effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love into a living humor of madness. I could cure you too, if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my cote to woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I will show it you. By the way, you will tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go? Come on, pace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goat, Audrey.
What?
Audrey, am I the man yet? Doth my simple features content you?
Your features? Lord Mortus, what features?
I am here with thee, and thy goat. That the most capricious poet, honest Ovid, was among the gods.
Oh, knowledge will inhabit, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
Truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest indeed word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do truly, for thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard favored. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey as sauce to sugar.
Well, I am not fair. Therefore, I pray the gods make me honest.
Truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut were to put good meat into an unclean dish.
Well, I am not a slut. No, I think the gods, I am foul.
Well, praise be to God for thy foulness. And this may come hereafter.
Proceed. Proceed. I'll give her.
Good evening, good master. What do you call it? How do you, sir? Glad you for your last company. I am very glad to see you.
Will you be married, Motley?
As the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bells, so man hath his desires.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Go thou with me, and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey. We must be married, or we must live in Baudry. Be gone, I say. I will not to wedding with thee.
Tis no matter, never fantastical knave of them all shall bout me at my calling.
Never speak to me, I will weep. Do, I prithee, but yet have the grace to consider the tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good cause as one would desire. Therefore, weep.
But why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly, there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think he's not a pig person or a horse thief, but for his verity in love.
Not true in love. You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. And besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. Both are the confirmer of false reckonings. Who comes here?
Madame and Mister, you have oft inquired after the shepherd that complained of love, who you saw sitting with me here by the turf, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
Well, and what of him?
If you will see the pageant truly play, between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and disdain, go hence, and I shall conduct you, if you will mark.
Come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love.
Sweet Phoebe, do not pity me. Do not, Phoebe. Sweet Phoebe, please do not pity me. The common executioner, whose heart, because of what death makes hard, whilst not the axe from the humble neck, but first begs pardon.
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eyes. 'Tis pretty, sure, and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things shall be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart. And if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counterfeit too soon. Why now fall down? For thou canst not, oh, for shame, for shame. Lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show the wound mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. Nor, I am sure, there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as it ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek with power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What, though you have no beauty? Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? You foolish shepherd! Wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her. And out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But, mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees. And thank heaven, fasting, for a good man's love. For I must tell you friendly in your ear. Sell when you can. You are not for all markets. So take her to thee, shepherd.
love that love not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, then by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both extermined.
Thou hast my love. Is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Sylvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I shall endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I am such a poverty of grace. I shall think it most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after man that the main harvest reaps. Whose now and then a scattered smile, and that I'll look upon.
Knowest now the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I've met him oft. And he bought both the cottage and the bounds that old Carlet once was keeper of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a thievish boy. Yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty. He's proud. And yet his pride becomes him. If he'll make a proper man, the best thing in him is his complexion. And faster than his tongue can make offense, his eye to heal it up. He's not very tall. Yet, for his years, he's tall. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. Just a difference between a constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But, for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet, I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? But that's all one. A mittance is no quittance. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Sylvius?
Phoebe, before my heart.
I'll write it straight. Go with me, Sylvius.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
But how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this time? You, a lover? And you served me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
Fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love? He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but a part of the 1,000th part of a minute in the affairs of love. It may be said of him that Cupid had clapped him over the shoulder, but I'll warrant him heart whole.
Heart
Will you, Orlando, take to wife this Rosalind?
I will. And you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife. I take thee, Rosalind, for wife. Now, tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her. Forever and ever. Oh, say a day without the ever. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they are wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they're wives. But will my Rosalind do so? By my life, she will do as I do. Oh, but she is wise. Or else she could not have the wit to do this. For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I must leave thee. Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours. I must attend to Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I will be with thee again. Go your ways. Go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much. 2 o'clock is your hour? Aye, sweet Rosalind. By my troth, and in good earnest, and so God mend me, and by all pretty oaths which are not dangerous, if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure and keep your promise. With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. And so, adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love praise.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how many fathoms deep I am in love. I'll tell you, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he comes.
And I'll sleep.
Yes, Andre.
What say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock? And here much Orlando.
I warrant you with pure love and troubled brain, he hath taken forth his bow and arrows and is gone to sleep. Who comes here?
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action which you did use as you was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I'm but as a guiltless messenger.
She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud and says she could not love me were man as rare as Phoenix.
So please you, for I never heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Why, thy God had laid apart, warst thou with a woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? Whilst you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me. And by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will the faithful offer take of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Call you this chided?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? Say this to her, that if she loves me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will not have her unless thou entreat for her. Now, as you be a true lover, hence, and not a word, for here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am? What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you'll know of me, what man I was, and how and why, and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. Pacing through the forest, marked with objects that present itself. Under the oak, a wretched, ragged man lay sleeping on his back. Around his neck, a green and gilded snake that wreathed itself, with her head nimble in threat to approach the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, the snake unlinked itself and with indented glide this slip away into a bush, under which bush's shade a lioness lay couching head on the ground, when that the sleeping man should stir from 'tis the royal disposition of that beast to prey on nothing that does seem as dead. This scene, Orlando did approach the man and found it was his brother, his natural brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of his older brother, and he did name him the most unnatural among men.
He might so do, for what I know, he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there?
Twice did he turn his back and intended so, but kindness, nobler ever than revenge, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
'Tis I, but 'twas not I. Oh, I am not ashamed to tell you who I was, for my conversion so sweetly tastes being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin?
Oh, by and by, in brief, he led to the gentle duke who gave me fresh array and entertainment, commending me unto my brother's love, who instantly led me into his cave, to there stripped himself, and upon his arm the lioness has torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted and cried, and fainting upon Rosalind. Therefore he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell the story that might, if you excuse his broken promise, oh, and to give this napkin dyed in his blood to that shepherd youth he does call his Rosalind.
Cousin Ganymede, sweet cousin Ganymede!
Many will soon when they do look on blood.
There's more in it. Cousin Ganymede.
Be of good cheer, youth. You're a man, you lack a man's heart.
I do so, I confess it. Sirrah, a body would think this was well counterfeit.
This was not counterfeit. There's too much testimony of your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
I do so, I confess it. Though, in faith, I should have been a woman by right.
Come, you grow paler and paler. Good sir, come with us.
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old gentlemen sang.
A most wicked vicar, Audrey. But Audrey, there is a youth here in the forest lays claim to you.
Aye, I know who 'tis. He hath no interest in me in the world.
How old is he, Audrey?
5 and 20, sir.
Is he wise?
Aye, sir, he hath a pretty wit.
I do not remember a saying, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Is he learned?
No, sir.
Then learn him this of me. Abandon, which is in the vulgar, leave. The society, which in the boorish is company, of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is, abandon the society of this female, or thou wilt tell him, thou perishest, or, to my better understanding, diest. Therefore, tremble and depart.
I will. Good touch, though.
Trip, Audrey, trip. Oh, I attend. Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her, that but seeing, love her, and loving, wooing, she should grant?
Do not call the giddiness of it in question, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing and her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Eliana, and say with her that she loved me, and consent with both that we may enjoy each other. Oh, it shall be to your good. For my father's house and the estates of old Sir Roland, I shall estate upon you, and here live and die as a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow.
Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers.
Go you and prepare Leanna for, look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf. It is my arm. I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion. Wounded it is, with the eyes of a lady.
Oh, and did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when you showed me your handkerchief?
I am greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. Your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. They're in the very wrath of love, and they will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptials, but oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind.
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, for now I speak to some purpose. If you love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries out, when your brother marries Eliana, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Therefore, put you in your best array. Bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall. And to Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter I writ to you.
You are therefore followed by a faithful shepherd. Look on him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
I will satisfy you. Ever I satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, all meet. So fare you well. I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I. Tomorrow is the joyful day. Tomorrow we will be married.
I do desire it with all my heart, and I hope it is no dishonest desire to be a woman of the world. Oh, here comes two of the banished dukesmen.
Well met, honest gentlemen.
By my troth, well met. Come, sit. And a song.
We are for you. Sit in the middle.
It was a lover in his last evergreen cornfields it passed. In the springtime, the only pretty time birds do sing, hating sweet lovers love the spring. Swimming Truly, young gentlemen, though there was no great matter in the ditty, and yet the note was very untunable. God be with you. And God mend your voice. Come, Audrey.
Dost thou truly believe that this boy can do all that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not. Patience once more while our compact is urged. You say if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here?
That would I had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you'll have her when I bring her? That would I, were I of all kingdoms king. You say you'll marry me if I be willing?
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd?
So is the bargain.
You say you'll have Phoebe if she will.
Though to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
There be truth in sight. You are your husband.
I'll have no father, if you be not he. I'll have no husband, if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman, if you be not she.
Yes. Oh, I bar confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion. events, here's 8 that must take hands.
Oh, niece, welcome thou art to me, and even daughter in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine.
Aw.
I faith my fancy to be thou combined.
Let me have an audience for a word or two. I am the second son of old Sir Rowland, that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to this forest, addressed a mighty power, which were on foot under his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where, meeting with an old religious man, was converted both from his enterprise and from this world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands returned to them again that were with him exiled.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. Firstly, let us here in these woods do these odds that we were here well begun and well begot. And, finally, all of this number shall enjoy the good of our return to fortune. Meanwhile, forget this new fallen dignity and fall into our rustic revelry, and you, brides and bridegrooms all, in measure heaped in joy, to the measure fall.
Sir, if I heard you rightly, the Duke has put on a religious life and thrown into neglect upon this court?
He has.
To him will I. Out of these convertites, there is much matter to be heard and learned. You, to your former honor I bequeath, your patience and your virtue well deserved it. You, to a love that your true faith doth merit. You, to your land and love and great allies. You, to a long and well-deserved bed. You, to your wrangling, so to your pleasures. I'm for other than for dancing measures.
Proceed. We shall begin these rites, as we do hope they'll end with true delights.
It is not the fashion to see the lady, the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lord, the prologue. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I can perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me,